Hi viewers, welcome to another edition of Sports Check. My name is Frank-Kamal Acheampong, and today I am here with someone who has an inspiring journey, Prince Maubrey. Prince, welcome to Sports Check.
Thank you. Nice to see you.
It's been a while.
Yes.
Prince, there's been lots to talk about. What inspired you into this athletics journey?
I've always been an athlete since I was young. I always looked up to the athletes on TV. So ever since I was 4 or 5 years old, I've been wanting to do sports, and I started in elementary school, and I continued until my professional career now.
Well, as youngsters, we all have a dream. Was athletics the dream for you while growing up?
Yeah, it was one of my dreams. My first dream was to be like Michael Jackson. So Michael Jackson. So that was my first dream, and then just because I was physically gifted, I continued into athletics. So between being an entertainer and an athlete, those two were my first dreams.
What was the journey growing up, and what was the process you went through to be an athlete?
I started competing in maybe elementary school, which is GHS here, and I was in the States, so I've been in the States since I was 5 years old.
Okay.
So I started from JHS all the way to university.
Yep.
And I took a few wrong directions.
Okay.
And I came back on track. And now it's been a great journey.
You mentioned about taking some wrong tracks, and then mentioned being in the States. Can you run us through a background check of Prince Maubrey?
Yeah, sure. I was admitted into one of the top universities in the country, and for wrestling and my academic abilities.
Okay.
And I found out that I wasn't given a full scholarship. So at 18 years old, I decided to try to raise money for my, I think it was about $30,000, which is more than 50,000 cities per year tuition.
Okay.
No, more than 500,000 cities, more than 500,000 cities per year tuition.
Okay.
And I decided to turn to selling drugs in university to pay for my school. I was caught, and I was facing 60 years in jail.
60?
60. And by the grace of Jesus Christ, I was, all my charges was dropped after a few years of going back and forth to court. My charges were dropped, and then I turned into the right course.
The right course?
Which is just focusing on athletics.
Okay.
And earning money the right way. I didn't finish school as I would have wanted to at the time, but now in retrospect, with everything that I've gone through in life, all the things that I've accomplished, I realized that it wasn't my destiny to finish school. Because I wanted to be a doctor. I went for pre-med, and I wanted to be a doctor, and I realized now I don't want to be a doctor. I love inspiring people with what I do as far as my athletics and the books that I've written that have gone to bestseller worldwide. And if I was a doctor, I'll be in the office or a hospital every day, which is, I wouldn't have the reach as I do now. Yeah. So it was by fate that I went in that path, and that has led me here.
So let's come to the athletics journey.
Yeah.
Right now, at this moment, what is Prince Maubrey doing about his athletics journey?
I've been training for a long time, for many years. Last year, as you may know, I had a cancer relapse. So I still trained during last year, but I just wasn't able to qualify for the Olympics. And I decided, after all these years of coming back and forth to Ghana from the States, I decided just a few months ago to relocate permanently to Ghana.
Okay.
So just last week I've relocated permanently to Ghana, and I'm coming to train, but I'll take maybe a few months to build a house, and then that way I can be settled, and then I'll start training for this coming season. So that's my plan. As soon as I finish building a house, I'll be settled, and I'll start my training again.
Okay. I know you had been training for the 2024 Olympics that just happened in July, and failing to secure qualification because of the cancer relapse. How was it? How did you feel?
I always feel good because I know everything is under the control of Jesus Christ.
Okay.
So I don't get worried and I don't get frustrated because it's all part of the journey. Sometimes he tests you to see if you're going to lose faith.
Yeah.
And my faith just grows more. I kept training to the amazement of my doctors and my teammates. I'd never stopped believing. The body was weak, but the mind and the spirit was very strong, even stronger than before. So I didn't feel bad. I just know it's part of the journey, part of the process. So we keep going.
Okay, and then there was massive disappointment from the path of Ghanaians. Our athletes failed. Failed horribly. Watching on from the TV, or I don't know, reading it on the news online.
Yeah.
Were there any, ideas about what these people could have done? Were you, beating yourself like, I should have been there, I should have been there?
As far as me, I know that when the time is right for me, I'll be there. If you're chosen, if you're the one, you don't have to worry about anything. You just do the works, and then you'll get there. So for me personally, I believe I'm chosen to break the world record to win a gold medal. So I don't worry about when. The only thing that's going to stop me is if I give up.
Okay.
So as far as the other athletes, I know a few of us train in the U.S. and we qualify for the Ghana team. But there's some that train here in Ghana that try to qualify, and I think the way to qualify would be for athletes here in the U.S. It has to start with the facilities. EWAC Stadium needs to be renovated. And I don't think it will cost too much money out of the sports budget to just renovate the track. The grass is okay, but the track has so many potholes in the middle, and you'll be surprised how big of a difference it will make once you just renovate the track. Just the running part. You don't have to renovate the stadium and the seats necessarily. Just the track. You put the rubber, you let it dry, and it makes a big difference. Makes a big difference. So, and the restrooms. If the restrooms were clean, it makes a big difference. So there's a few things that need to be done immediately so that we can qualify for the next Olympics.
And then you talked about facilities.
Yes.
Let's do some comparison here. Comparing Ghana's facilities to the States. I know there is, a huge difference, but then would you say it has an impact, on how the athletes perform?
Yes, 100%. Like I said, it's the facilities. It doesn't have too many dynamics. It's just the track and the toilets. Everything else is the same in the States. So it's just those two things will change everything. If it can just take a few tenths of a second off of our time, that's the difference between qualifying and not qualifying. Because the talent is there. So we just need proper training facilities, which is just the track and the toilets.
And as an association, athletics association, or as a player body, Have you had any discussions with your peers? I mean, your fellow athletes, on how you could garner the voice to help get these facilities here in Ghana?
No, I haven't. I came last year. I trained for about 5 months here on Ewak Stadium, but I didn't voice my opinion to any of the athletes about changing the facilities. I remember every time I've come, I've spoken to some seniors, and I've asked them, not by by force, but just asked them if there's any way we can get the track fixed. And I was told that it's a government land. So my only idea is we speak to whoever's in charge, government-wise, or if it comes down to the government not willing to renovate the track, then my option is that I'll fund it. I'll do it myself. So that's my idea in coming to Ghana. If the government is not willing to do it, I'll raise the money myself, and I'll get it done.
That sounds interesting, and it will be a massive boost for we as a country, and then the athletes also, to boost their preparation. So I would want you to say that on repeat.
Yes. No one is going to do anything for you. I've learned this in life. I've traveled the world, and I realize no one is going to do anything. If you want something done, you have to do it yourself. Yeah. So I've already set that in my mind, that now that I'm living here, I'm not coming here for 5 months, 6 months, and then going back to the U.S. Now that I'm living here, if they're not willing to do it, I'll do it myself. So I've already set that in my mind. And if they're not willing to accept the money to do it, then we'll find a land and build a track. So the fact that I'm here, I'm getting straight to work.
Okay. You had a coach the last time I met you at Ewak.
Yeah, Coach Amuzu.
Is he still your coach?
Yeah, he's still my coach. We always keep in contact, even while I'm in the States. So don't tell him yet. I'm gonna surprise him. I haven't told him I'm here yet. So I've just been here for a week.
So he's still your personal coach.
Yes,
He will be the one to train you.
Yes.
When you make your stay permanent.
Yes. He's been my coach for. When was the first time I came to train? I came I think it was 2014.
Okay.
I came just to train by myself. I saw him, and he had some athletes, and he approached me, and ever since then, I've been training with him.
How would you describe Coach Amuzu?
Oh, he's amazing, amazing coach. As I mentioned, I've trained with coaches all over the world, and you know when the coach is knowledgeable about the sport. Yeah. So if I go to a country or city and the coach is not as knowledgeable, the fact that I've been in this field for a long time, I would notice immediately. So once you spend a few days with a coach and you realize that they're knowledgeable, then you stay with them. So he's very knowledgeable. It's interesting because I learned something from my coach in the U.S. and then I learned something from Coach Amuzu here. Okay. So if there's something missing from Coach Amuzu that maybe my U.S. coach can help me with, I combine both knowledge from both coaches, Coach Joey Scott in the U.S., Coach Amuzu here. So I'm fortunate to be blessed with two great coaches.
One would say you are blessed, like you said, you are fortunate to have two big ideas, to get training from. But then, Prince, let's go for a quick break. We'll be right back and delve into more details. Welcome from the break. Prince, you had projects coming up. You have projects ongoing. Yes. But first, I would like to talk about the Maubrey-destined effect. I
Yes.
have a copy. You gave me a copy, and I would say it's phenomenal.
Thank you. Thank you.
What was the brain behind the Maubrey Destined Effect?
I wanted to inspire the world. I wanted to encourage the world that whatever your dream is, you can accomplish it. And I wanted to encourage the world that despite what you're going through in life,
Okay.
you can go to the next level,
No matter what.
no matter what. I released 2 books so far. Both of them, by the grace of God, have gone to bestseller worldwide. And I have written 7 books total. So, God willing, I'll release the 3rd book, 2025.
2025. What's the next step for the book? What's in the next book? The details.
The first 2 books that you have, I released the volume 3, which is the latest part of my life. And then I went backwards again a few years later and released volume 2, which is the middle. And so now I'm going to release from the beginning, from birth until I get to university. The first 2 books were very powerful. And I think the 3rd book I'm going to release is powerful, but it takes you back to a younger me.
Okay.
So it's unique in the way that you see how I was thinking even as a child,
Yeah.
and you're able to connect the puzzle,
Yeah.
to put everything together to understand why I am here
Yeah.
now and what it took for me to get here now. So it's very powerful. Even though I'm a youth in the 3rd book, you'll be able to take a lot and you'll be able to be inspired from it. So I'm excited. I'm very excited for.
I know you made mention of building a track, a sports
Yes.
track, if only if the sports ministry do not, actually
Yes.
come to the aid of the athletes.
Yes.
Aside getting a track and building your own track, are there any projects that you want to pass on to the youth of Ghana?
As I mentioned in another TV interview last year when I came, God has given me a vision to be the first ruling king of Ghana since the colonization of the British. So no more presidency. So imagine Ghana without the need to pay for healthcare when you get sick, and then you're back to square one. You have no money. Imagine Ghana that our debt is paid off. Imagine Ghana that the facilities are repaired. Imagine Ghana that you don't have to worry about the many job obstacles that you're going through. So that's the reason why God has brought me here. And I realize that that's the reason that God has brought me on this path of going in the wrong direction, of going through sports, to teach me, to traveling around the world, to learning the different cultures and finance and communication. He's brought me here finally to stay so that I can begin the work. As you know, I've already started my royal duties from the U.S. When I do my donations and my counseling. So that's the main project. I'll continue my sports, but I'm here to help Ghana, to encourage Ghana, to lift Ghana up out of the depths of poverty and lack.
Meaning the Olympic dream is still intact.
It's still there. Obviously, as the people decide if they want me to be the leader, I'll gradually go off from my athletics and more into governing. But nothing is by force. I'm patient with everything. It doesn't have to be this week or this month. The people will decide. It's all up to God and the free will of the people. So my job is just to start here in Ghana, continue the works, and the people will decide. You don't have to do a massive campaign, because in the old times, we didn't do campaigns. 1,000 years ago, there was no campaign. The people chose who the best leader is. So he brought me here to start the works. And I know my athletic ability will inspire not just the youth, but the adults, even people that are not from Ghana. And I believe it's going to be a beautiful Ghana soon.
Prince, you started having this athletic dream as a child, and I'm thinking in Ghana there are many kids who I would say have a dream just like you had when growing up. Are there any opportunities that you are willing to give these kids when they show up to you?
The best thing you can do is give hope. I've learned that. I mentioned when I was a kid in Ghana, I wanted to be like Michael Jackson, right? There's nothing that Michael Jackson could have given me physically.
Yeah.
What he could have given me was hope. For him to come and visit Ghana, for me to just see him here in Ghana, doing what he's gifted to do. So it's not necessarily about money. Money comes and goes. It's good to have money, but the hope, the words, the encouragement, the love that you show is what, if I would have seen Michael Jackson, using him as an example, just to see him and just to feel the love has catapulted me to where I am now. When I was in Miami just a few months ago, I believe you know Mark Cuban.
Yeah.
The guy, he's on Shark Tank, and he started I think Yahoo, and he's one of the richest billionaires in the world. He went to my school. He went to Indiana University, and just a few months ago, I saw him while I was book signing in Miami, and I called him. I said, Mark, and he stopped. He gave me the time. I showed him my book. I gave him a book. I said, you know, you went to Indiana University. You used to come to the where we go to the bars, the music places, and I told him, just seeing you coming back to our university, it really inspired me. And I told him that, and he was so touched and happy to hear that someone, just for him to come back, he was able to affect someone.
Inspiration.
So I'm telling you, that's the most powerful thing, is for the person to come back and for the people to see that you're there. You may not realize it now, but maybe 5 years from now, 10 years, 15, 20 years from now, it makes an impact. So as far as that, I think that's the number one thing, is to when the youth come to me, or even the adults come to me, just to give words of encouragement and advice.
Yeah.
And then of course, financially, I'm going to be developing and building and helping as much as possible. But the main key is the inspiration.
Okay. People, I mean the kids, not even the kids, the youth, grown-ups, everyone has a dream. Yeah. And then what would be the perfect advice? The perfect, advice to implant in the youth, the kids, whoever wants to, take up a mantle in whether athletics, football, education, whatever it may be? The number one thing is Jesus Christ. If you keep Jesus Christ first place, you'll be able to accomplish things that you can't even imagine. So that's been my secret for all these years. Okay.
No matter what I'm going through in life, even the harder it gets, the closer I get to Jesus Christ. I strengthen my faith in him, and he's undefeated. He's brought me through everything. He's brought me through going through jail for 60 years. He's brought me through cancer. He's brought me through everything. So there's nothing that he can't bring you through if you continue your faith in him during the fire. Not just when the fire is gone. It's during the fire that you go to the next level and higher level after higher level. The second thing is what most people don't realize, you have to love.
Okay.
Once you truly love people, whether they're being rude to you or they're your enemy, once you truly love people, certain miracles begin to happen.
Yeah.
So most people, they have faith in God, but they don't love people. So I'm telling you something that you don't hear on TV, and people, I never really hear people giving that advice. The secret for me all these years is that I truly love people. And when you truly love people, people can feel that energy.
Okay.
So it's an unexplainable energy that you give out. So if you're not a lover, you have to work on it.
Okay.
You have to be able to forgive certain things and let things go and love.
Yeah.
Something that you have to work on. And believe me, people can feel it. So if you want your dream to come true,
Yeah.
you can't do it alone. You need help.
Okay.
So in order for you to attract people to help you, you really have to love them. And they feel it. And they want to be part of what you're doing.
Right.
So, number one, faith in Christ. Number two, love. And I think there are many more, but I think a third thing to do is don't give up because your dream hasn't happened in your time frame. It never happens in your time frame. It only happens on God's time frame. I remember when I first started training for track specifically, I said, oh, by next year, 2 years, I'll break the world record. You see, and in retrospect, if I knew it would have taken this long, I probably wouldn't have done it. But because I had faith and I was willing to go through the journey, and each obstacle that came, I realized that it only helped me. It only helped me go to the next level.
Yeah.
I'm able to continue, and I'm my fastest now than I've ever been before. Even with the cancer and all this, I keep getting faster. So don't expect it to happen in your time frame. Don't be discouraged if it hasn't happened yet. Just go through the journey, and then you'll get it eventually.
I know the Olympics, competing at the Olympics specifically, is one of your main goal. In sports, I mean, let's talk in athletics, what other goals that do Prince Maubrey?
No, to me, the Olympics, winning a gold medal and breaking a world record has been the only focus in my mind since I decided to focus on only track. For me, it's not as other athletes think of it, as it's the biggest thing in life. The biggest thing in life is not sports. It's your family, your people. So for me, I've accomplished so many of my goals throughout my life. This is just another goal, to-do list.
Okay.
I don't see it as something that's impossible. It's just another goal that one of the many that I've accomplished. So when it happens, I'll be grateful, I'll be happy. I may cry because it's taken a long journey,
So long, yeah.
but it'll be just another check on my list of goals that I've completed.
Let's come home. I don't know. Do you follow the Black Stars?
I don't, but now that I'm here, I will follow.
So have you heard the names?
I've heard that we didn't qualify.
And
This,
as a Ghanaian, what's the feeling like?
Growing up, even in the States, I know Ghana is always the top country in Africa.
Yeah.
And it's sad. It's sad that even though I don't follow in the States, but my whole impression since growing up is that Ghana is number one, top one in Africa.
That's
so
right.
it's sad that the last few years we're not number
there
one
anymore.
So it's a shocking revelation, and I think everything comes down to hope. You can have a great coach, but you need hope. You need someone to speak. It's one of the most powerful people in history spoke. Jesus Christ spoke. And he didn't necessarily, besides the miracles, he didn't do anything physically, but he spoke. And We need someone to speak words of encouragement and powerful words, effective words to you. So that's my advice to whoever is going to be the next coach or whoever is going to be a player.
Yeah.
We need a person who can speak powerful words. And I'll give you one example since I'm talking about that. I was at practice, and we must have ran, in practice in the US, we must have ran maybe 4 very hard sprints. I think it was the final one was a 300 meter. And as usual, we're all in the shade, lying on our backs.
Tired.
And one of my teammates, a female teammate, I told her years ago, she knew that I'm going to be marrying multiple wives as king. And we always used to joke about it. But while we were all passed out, my coach called us to run another one, the final one. And I was lying on my back, grasping for air. And I remember my teammate came up, she came up to me, she said, "Oh, Maubrey, so you want to marry 5 wives, huh? Get up." Listen, I've never felt this in my time. The moment she said that, I had energy like I've never had before. The pain was gone, 100% gone. I've never experienced anything like that. So that's when I realized at that moment, words are very powerful. I realized at that moment that words are it can take away all the pain miraculously. I got straight up and I felt no pain and ran the next run like it was nothing. So coming back, there's words, powerful words that God gives each person. And there's people in this world that has been given or are given the gift of words to lift people up. And that's what we need. Not just coaching and technique. You need a powerful person who can speak words of hope into athletes.
Oh, Maubrey, thanks for coming. It's been an exciting interview with you. Lots of insightful moments, and I wish you all the best in your journey. And Akwaaba.
Thank you, Frank.
In Ghana.
Thank you, Frank.
All too soon, Sports Check has come to an end. We'll be back with another exciting episode. Stay safe.